Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining me for another deck box review for swdestiny.com. Tonight, I'll be bringing you a review of the Ultimate Guard selection that was sent to me from Ultimate Guard themselves. Again, full disclosure, these were all sent to me free of charge at the promise of a review. So we're going to do that here in just a moment. Once again, my name is Alan Shot First on the Twitters. Obviously, my real name is Alan. If you want to follow me at Twitter, you can see my Twitter handle down in the bottom corner there. But yeah, we're just going to jump right into it, guys. All right, everybody, here is the Ultimate Guard. There it is there. Deck and tray case that says 100 plus. I don't know about the capacity of the 100 plus, but I do like this one, and let me show you why. Let me see if I can do this with one hand. The top pops off here, and it folds up. Inside, I've got 35 cards that are sleeved into thicker sleeves. This deck does come, or this deck box does come with two dividers of the same color, it looks like. I was able to get 4 layers of 6 dice in here, so 35 cards here. I've got 24 dice here. And then watch this really cool thing that happens here in the back. Let me see if I can get this open. This is hard to do one-handed, which I guess would be good. In the bottom, there is a tray. There's the flip and tray. And it slides out, and inside, I was able to get a bunch of tokens. And there's still room in there for more. It's just the way they're kind of jam-packed in there. So this is about 2/3 of my tokens. I could still fit all of the tokens in there from 2 starter decks that I got when I got the starter decks from the Kylo Ren and the other one. I went blank. My wife's cat is meowing. I apologize. So I've got tokens here on the bottom. I've got a deck of 35 cards, which is a playing deck, and 24 dice. So far, of all of the deck boxes I've reviewed, and these aren't going, they're not going to open up accidentally. That one came up just a little bit, but it wasn't going to open all the way. This is a great box, guys. It's got a place on top to level. All my tokens are in the bottom. One play deck. 24 dice, all right here. One nice carrying case to take along with me. As far as Star Wars Destiny goes, that's all you need. If you've got a solid deck, and there's even room in here for a few more cards if you wanted to, you could squeeze a few more cards in there. Not a lot, maybe 5 to 10 more cards in there if you had a few cards you wanted to play test. But overall, man, that's a nice deck box. All right, come back with the Monolith. All right, guys, back with the Ultimate Guard Monolith here. You can see that it's the Emerald Monolith, which is green. You can kind of see through it, as you can see with my finger here. It's got an interesting texture on the outside. It's not slick. It's almost kind of got a matte finish to it. It's got a little bit of grip to it. I'm not sure how that works, but as you can see, as I try to push it across the table, it's not going very far. It's kind of got a slide-resistant surface to it. Here in a second, I'll put it all together. I want to go over one of the cons I noticed right away with it. Number one, it's beautiful. The craftsmanship, easy for me to say, looks good. But as you can see, here's one of your challenges. Right now, I've got 35 dice in here, which is pretty much a play deck. I've got 24 dice, 4 layers of 6. But as you can see, with the design of this 45-degree angle, or whatever the angle is here, you've got to kind of precariously stack your dice here to put the whole thing together. Now, that may not matter to you, and if it doesn't, this may be a good choice for you, but obviously if I touch these dice, they're going to all fall. But if you can stack them like this, and you're okay with that, you can carefully put that down there like that, and here is all my play tokens. I've left out the tokens in my last few reviews, and I was called out on that, and they were correct. I just completely forgot to consider the tokens in most of my other reviews. This stacks here on top like so. And as a presentation piece goes, it is very, very difficult to not like what I see here. You can see through and see the dice. You can see through and see the cards. Again, the craftsmanship, the kind of non-slip surface that's on this is very, very nice to the touch. It's got a good heft and weight to it. I've got all of my tokens, a play set of cards, a play set of dice, and it's all good to go. Very similar to the deck and tray but obviously this is going to cost a little bit more. So really like it. Only negative is the angle that I see here. Other than that, it's snapped together. It's not going anywhere. It's not coming apart. Both of these carry basically the exact same amount. Yeah, put them side by side. They're almost the exact same dimensions. So both of these deck boxes can carry the exact same amount of dice, cards, and tokens. It's just one is the thinner plastic, similar to the Ultra Pro basic boxes that they have, deck boxes. And this is going to be more like the satin tower that they had from Ultra Pro. But actually, I like the styling on this better. But this angle right here is kind of hard to get over. When you see the dice leaning inside there. So if this lid wasn't on, those would just be falling all over the table. But other than that, really like that. All right, now we're going to get into the good stuff. The flipping tray and the twin flipping tray. So I'll be right back to talk about those. Okay guys, back with the single flipping tray. It says here Xenoskin deck case 100 plus cards. It does have a magnetic clasp on it or enclosure. Not a big fan of that, but I'm not a big fan of that in anything. But right away, I can tell a difference in the quality of this, what they're calling Xenoskin, as compared to the M2 deck tray from Ultra Pro. This feels a lot better quality. The magnets wrap around a little bit. They feel a little bit more firm on the case. It's actually kind of interesting. These three deck boxes, the Deccan Tray, the Monolith, and the Flippin' Tray, literally hold the exact same amount of product. So you've got my tokens here on top. This actually is kind of a microfiber, almost a suede feel to it on the inside. Feels very, very luxurious, if that's a word I can use in the gaming world. So you got your tokens here on top, which is a fantastic deal. You can notice that it has a different, you could just open up just your tokens if you wanted to do that. And then it holds 35 cards and 24 dice. Now again, the challenge is this drawer that I can pull out here does not go all the way to the top. So when you're pulling it out, you can see some of the dice are wanting to stay inside. That's not because they're stuck inside. It's just because they're kind of resting on top of the drawer in the space there, as you can see. There's also 35 cards in here. They do fit more snug in this case than they do in the Monolith and the Deccan Tray. Both of those have a little bit more play when you put the 24 dice in and the 35 cards. But once again, all three of them have a similar size storage for tokens and a similar size storage for cards and dice. Again, the only reason I'm having trouble pulling this out with one hand is because of this Xenoskin, which is a really nice leather-like material. Again, I don't know what a Xeno is or why we have it skinned, but that's what it's called. And then also the microfiber kind of suede insert here. So if I had two hands, that would have been way smoother. But again, here's one of the only negatives, much like in the Monolith that had the 45-degree angle coming down. Those dice fell right off the top. But again, really impressed that all three of these storage solutions are able to hold 35 cards. Still, again, has a little bit of room for just a few more, but they're pretty snug in this case. 24 dice and all the tokens that I would need to sit down and play with friends all in one place. It's almost like they designed these particularly for a single Destiny deck, 24 dice, and the tokens. I know that's not probably the only design consideration, but it definitely is impressive to me that if you buy any of these three Ultimate Guard cases, that you've got plenty of room. Now this one that we're going to do next, the twin flipping tray, this should give us some interesting options. I'll be right back with that. Okay guys, we're back with the twin flipping tray, the Xenoskin deck case from Ultimate Guard. I'm going to do my very best to do this all with one hand. Again, just like its smaller predecessor over here, the flipping tray, the twin flipping tray has multiple doors to open for each compartment. The twin trays are the bigger ones. This tray is a little bit larger than the one that was in the regular flipping tray as well. The magnets feel a little bit stronger on this one. I don't know if they are or not, but you can kind of see the round circles there that represent the magnets. I didn't see that on the other one, so they may be a little bit more pronounced. Right off the bat, something I do not like about it is that the decks are in sideways. So let's say that you wanted to open it up this way. Okay, so then you have 2 trays, and you have this one, but now this one is sideways. And this has all my tokens in it. So if I open this up, all my tokens will then fall out to the left, which I do have tokens inside there right now. So you have a couple of options. You can either turn it up sideways and pull these drawers out completely, but then you run into the same struggle that you did before in the other flipping tray, is that this top layer of 6 dice is not set perfectly. There we go. They're not set perfectly inside of the drawer, so they will tumble out. Now when it's closed, again, not a big fan of magnetic enclosures. When it's closed, I'm sure they would be fine, but you have to make a choice. Which drawer, which shelf, which tray do you want to be sideways? So right off the bat, kind of struggling with that. So let's say, hypothetically, that, well, we'll just go ahead and pull these out. This is 70 cards here that I'm pulling out of this one with the divider in between. There is a little bit of room in here. I can get my finger down inside. So you could probably get maybe another 15 to 20 cards inside there that are sleeved. Okay, so here's my play deck. Well, now I can only store 24 dice. You can put 12 inside this drawer. I forgot to mention on my flip and tray review, you can put 9 inside the little drawer or the tray inside this one, only 9. So this one's a little bit bigger. You could fit 12 dice in here. So let's say that you took 6 of these dice, stuck it in here, and your tokens. You still have this gap up here in the top, which is really kind of odd. I almost wish that they would have made the tray either go all the way up or maybe an angle from the top to the back here. Again, micro suede here, which feels really nice. Would be a great place, a surface to roll, but they're kind of hidden from your playing companion, so they may not like you kind of hiding your dice back here, but maybe you could turn it sideways. That may be an option. So let's say that we pulled both of these drawers out. Okay, already I've got dice falling all over the place, which I don't like. I was hoping that that wouldn't happen, but it did. So then you turn it sideways so you can get to your tokens, and they come out. And then, yeah, maybe you could hide some dice in here. The shelves are very sturdy. They're very nice. But again, the quality of the Xenoskin and the micro suede, you can see there where my finger is brushing it. So it's got a nice micro suede thing going on there. Really want to like this deck box for multiple reasons. However, I don't know that it just wouldn't be more smart to store one of the trays of cards in here as it was sideways. This would be full of your tokens, and then maybe not put this drawer in at all and just stack your dice inside this space as an option. It still would only hold 24 dice, but that may make more sense to be able to reach inside, get your dice out, and then put them back inside. But then the challenge you run into is, unless you're running small decks of dice or you're sharing cards amongst your decks that are rolling the same dice no matter which deck that you play, are 24 dice enough to have 2 decks of cards inside? So to hold 24 dice, a single deck with a few extras, and all of your tokens, I don't know that these 3 options in the back wouldn't be better. So yeah, a little disappointed with this one, but these 3 back here, very impressed with. Now I'm going to come back with a very brief review of the sleeves over here. Okay guys, so here are the Supreme Ultimate Guard sleeves. There's 80 that comes in a box. And yeah, I mean, they're smooth on both sides, which feels very much like the base Fantasy Flight cards. You can see here at the top, if it'll focus in, a lot less of a gap up here than there were in some of the other sleeves that I took a look at. They don't move around very much. There's not a lot of play inside the actual sleeve itself. But as an add-on item, if you wanted to pick these up, if you like there not to be a large margin of plastic on top of your cards when you're trying to put them in sleeves, I think this would be a good add-on depending on which price point you could get it at. But it's just shiny on both sides. There's no matte finish whatsoever. Any matte that you may kind of be seeing in the lights there is, I think, the texture of the back of the card, of the Destiny card itself. But there's no texture to speak of. Both sides feel identical to me. But yeah, those are good sleeves. I would definitely play with them. Of course, I'm not a sleeve connoisseur as much as I enjoy looking at deck boxes. Just real quick, in summary, all 3 of these deck boxes I think are good choices. All 3 have a tray for your tokens, 35 cards, 24 dice. This one has the weird angle going up the side. which leaves some of your dice exposed when carrying. If you can gently take it off or on, which is almost impossible because of the way it snaps together, this would be a good choice, but the style of it I really, really like. I do like this one. It's reminiscent of the Ultra Pro base models, but has the tray in the bottom, which is a nice feature. Again, it can hold some tokens, dice, and 35 cards. Same here, micro suede, Xenoskin. I'm not a big fan of the magnetic enclosures, but of all the magnetic enclosures I've tried, that's one of the better ones. And this one feels even stronger. This one just has a lot of odd extra space, and you would think that extra space is good, but as you can see a few minutes ago in the video, I was really struggling with how to figure out where all of that goes. So thanks again for watching. Again, go over to swdestiny.com to find more good content about Star Wars Destiny. Follow me on the Twitters right down here at Alan Shot First, and look forward to bringing you some more reviews in the future, guys. Thanks, and see you next time.